Okay, guys, so this is gonna be all that you need for some brown stew chicken and Cuban rice and beans. So, and fried plantain, and of course, I don't know what vegetable I'm gonna cook yet, but so we have, um, really you should just use plain barbecue sauce, but I didn't even realize it's honey barbecue, some sofrito. The frozen are the one that stays in the fridge. This is like chicken powder cubes, and then some Sazon with the that coriander and annatto, I guess. Some black pepper, some minced garlic, some, I don't know, any kind of Jamaican seasoning. This is oxtail and stew seasoning, so, and I really like the seasoning. It's pretty good, but it is kind of salty, so just be careful. Then this is my go-to everyday adobo. Then we have ketchup. I have a little bit of ketchup, so I'm gonna use some Goya tomato sauce, and then I have another tomato sauce for the rice. Well, for the beans, I mean. I think I'm just gonna do white rice and beans, yeah, because I don't feel like making all that. And then some oil, of course, the beans, some rice, some onions and peppers that are already chopped up because I'm super lazy. Plants, they didn't have the yellow, like the right plantain, so I guess I'll just make the green one. Yeah, whatever. And then some chicken thighs. So right now I am just going to go ahead and wash my chicken, cut it up, and then season it. Yeah, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I forgot to show you guys browning. That's really a main ingredient, so I don't even know why it wasn't out there. But here I'm using the adobo. I'm putting a good amount. So I don't really measure my seasonings. I just eye it, I guess. And this here is Jamaican seasoning, the stew seasoning. Yeah, I'm just eyeing it, putting as much. I'm not putting too much of that on it because it is salty. So I'm trying to do it in moderation so I don't waste my food. Yeah, and just excuse me here. I forgot I was recording, I guess. And I started dancing. So embarrassing. Um, but now I'm opening the packet of Sazon. Yeah, and these packets I just left the grocery store, so I did disinfect them with wipes and everything before. So yeah, I'm not even gonna use the whole envelope. That's what they call it, or packet. I'm gonna use about half, just because, like I said, the other seasoning is salty, and that is a flavor enhancer. So I don't want to really do too much. And then here, this is just like chicken powder. So what I do here, um, I don't have any chicken broth, so with that, like, you can make chicken broth with that. So I put that on the chicken, and then when I add water, it's just not like just plain water, you know. So it'll be like chicken broth. um, yeah, and I'm not using a whole packet of that either, just a half. Um, and then I am gonna use some. I don't know. Whoa, I don't know why I picked up the ketchup. Um, but yeah, a little bit of black pepper, just because. And then here is where you use the browning. So this can actually be bitter. It doesn't really have a taste, but if you use too much, it can be bitter. So just use in moderation. I'm not putting too much, just sprinkling over it, because it really, what this does is just gives it a brown color. It's brown stew chicken, you know. So it's not, it's good to put on jerk chicken too, like any chicken that's like dark, or you know, that you want to give a nice like dark color to, then you would put that on there. And I am just mixing in all the seasonings now, and like you see the browning making the chicken turn. It looks like black now, whatever, but yeah, it's browning the chicken. Some people make this homemade, and they do that by, I think, like burning sugar. I don't know, something. They do something. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna let that sit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the stove on to get the hot. Okay, so here I'm just putting some oil in the pot, just enough to cover the bottom, not too much because you're gonna end up dumping the oil anyway. So here, the first step you do with the chicken, you brown each side. So I'm gonna wait until the oil gets hot, and while the oil is getting hot, then I'm gonna prep more stuff. Okay, so right here I am just placing the chicken in the pot. You see the oil is pretty hot, so that's a good thing. You do want to wait until the oil is hot so that the chicken actually, not, it doesn't burn, it just gets like dark brown. And then I just put enough chicken to cover the bottom of the pot. I don't put all the chicken in there because you want each side to brown because I'm going to actually flip it. I'm not going to cook it all the way through. I'm just going to let it sit on each side for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then while that is sitting there, then I'm putting in the oil for the rice. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip the chicken. But it was really kicking my ass. It's taking forever. So here I am really just trying to get everything together for the rice. So most people when they cook, it's like nothing for them to multitask, but it really takes all my brain. So it takes me a while to cook. But my food be good, so whatever. But yeah, that's just the same. Mix the onions and peppers. I'm putting that in the rice too. And also some minced garlic. Um, because I need flavor in everything I eat. Okay? um, yeah, and I'm just mixing that in. And I am going to keep that in there until it is fragrant, till I can smell it. Um, yeah, and then I'm also going to add some sofrito. Don't ask me what's in sofrito. Don't ask me if this is even like being authentic. I don't even think this is authentic. I don't know. But I like it. My food tastes good. I put it on almost everything. Like everything. Literally everything. It's just so good. It's like onions, I think tomatoes, cilantro, just a lot of spices and stuff. But it's pretty good. Um, yeah, you see the pot there. I'm just mixing all the ingredients together so that they can, simmer down, cool down before I add the rest of the ingredients for the rice. So you see the chicken is still there. I think I might have turned the pot down to like medium, but you wanna, I don't know. I know I have try medium. You can always try medium, and then if you need to go up, then you can. To medium high, but in between there. And then you can kind of see that the chicken is brown or getting brown. Yeah, so it is coming out good so far. Yummy. Yummy, yummy. Yeah, it took me a while to flip them because I was using a spoon. But now I'm about to open the Goya tomato sauce. Okay, so I finally got the can of tomato sauce open. So I do use the Goya brand, just because it's like Spanish style, and they're super cheap. They're like 60 cents. Um, yes, and then I also season it while the tomato sauce is in there. Um, so yeah, just the adobo again, and then um, the rest of the Sazon packet I like to put in there. Just because I'm not making that much rice. Oh yeah, I'm only using 1 cup because I'm only making 2 cups of rice. So 1 cup of tomato sauce for 2 cups of rice. Um, you low-key can use two if you want your like. It's up to you the color you want your your rice. But here I am just flipping the chicken again. Well, actually just checking it to see if it needs to be flipped. Okay, so now I'm just flipping the chicken because it's ready. I kind of flip it back and forth just to make sure each side is as brown as I want it. And now I'm just taking out the chicken and setting it aside, and I'm putting in the leftover chicken that I had. It wasn't enough to fill the bottom of the pot, but it's whatever. It's still gonna brown. So you just do that, repeat the same steps, brown each side for 2 to 3 minutes again. You can kind of see the difference um, that like the browning makes, because it like wouldn't be that brown on its own. So the browning is definitely doing its job. So now once I get all the pieces of chicken out, I'm gonna just dump the oil just because I used enough to cover the bottom of the pot, and it's a lot of oil left over. So, and I'm not about to waste no oil, so we gonna keep that. And now we're just gonna add some onions and peppers because I'm super lazy. I don't usually use it like that, but because I'm not about to recut onions when I already have onions and peppers cut up, so we're gonna use those. And we're also gonna add in some minced garlic. My mom, when she would make it, she would really like cut up the garlic and just do the most, but I'm not doing that. So we're also gonna add sofrito. I never seen nobody add this in brown stew chicken, but I like sofrito. I put it in everything. It's super, super good, and it doesn't like take away from the taste. And then here I'm just adding the flour to make the gravy thicker. It doesn't really, yeah, you don't need a lot to thicken it. Like just like a spoonful. Yeah. And I'm just mixing it. You're really supposed to like use a whisk, but I don't have a whisk, so I'm gonna whisk it with my hand. I whisk my hair. Okay, but yeah, I'm just mixing it together to try to get the gravy thicker. I don't really think the gravy was thicker, so you can really leave that part out because it didn't really do anything for mine. Maybe I needed to add more flour, but they say you're not supposed to add a lot, and I didn't want the food to taste like flour. But I mean, that little bit of flour wouldn't have done anything, but yeah, whatever. I tend to go off on rants. But okay, in this pot, this is the pot I'm going to do the beans in. So here, okay, my base ingredients that I'll cook everything with is onions and garlic. And because onions and peppers are already mixed together, that's why I'm using that mixture. And then the minced garlic. That minced garlic is in olive oil. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, and I'm letting the chicken pot like simmer. I'm gonna wait till it have bubbles in there. Oh, and then I didn't even see when I added water to that. So basically, what I did with the rice pot, I just added 4 cups of water because I'm making 2 cups of rice. So I added 4 cups of water to that, and I'm waiting on that to boil. And then now I'm adding oil to the beans pot just so that the garlic and the onions don't burn. Now I'm getting ready to add the chicken into that pot. Well, back into the pot. It looks so good already. I wish I could smell it because I did. I did that. But it smells super good. Yes, I'm just adding that back in there. And yeah, it looks good. See, the browning really does make a difference. It really, really does. And I know I said I was going to make fried plantain, but I don't really feel like it because I don't even think I started cutting it up yet. So I don't think I'm going to make that. So okay, so here you can see the chicken is just simmering down, and the onions, the pepper, the minced garlic, the sofrito is just trying to taste as good as it looks. And it smells, I wish y'all could smell how good it smells in here. But we're moving on to the rice. The water was boiling up, so I did go ahead and add the rice. I added 2 cups in total. Um, yeah, so that's why I added 4 cups of water in the beginning. So just make sure that the rice is leveled out. And then you also want to cover the rice as well. And then once the rice is covered, then you want to make sure that you turn it down to low. Just so that you don't go through any problems. But yeah, because rice is hard. But now I'm just adding tomato sauce to the beans, and I'm adding water to the chicken. So you seen a little tomato sauce go in the chicken as well. So what I did was I just added hot water to the rest of the tomato sauce that was in the can from the beans, and I just added that rest, the mixture in there. And I just added enough water in the chicken so that it, not covering it, but it's at the same height. And then I'm just adding a little sugar to the rice because it is supposed to be Cuban rice. That's the recipe that I saw. You just add sugar. And I did sprinkle some more because, I got to be extra. Now I am putting some more seasoning in the chicken just because I added all that water. So I added some more stew seasoning and then some more chicken seasoning just because I added that water. I don't want it to be just, I need my food to be flavorful. Now I am emptying the can of beans into the tomato sauce mixture. And the beans does have water in it and I did not drain it. So I just emptied out everything into the pot. So that's what it will look like. And of course, I'm going to add some seasoning to the beans because I need all my food to be flavorful. Okay? Okay. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to make some plantains, so that pot can really go. I'm messing with the rice, so that's probably, you don't want to do that. You don't want to mess with the rice. So keep it on there longer than what I did, because that wasn't even 10 minutes. So now I think I decided to make some corn. Okay, so with the corn I'm adding, I know it looks like a lot of butter, but I like my corn buttery, so yeah, I'm gonna let that butter just melt before I actually add the corn in it. But those beans look super good, right? They're bubbling up and everything. Yeah, the chicken, you want to let the chicken sit for at least, I want to say at least 30 minutes, just so that it's just so all the seasoning and the flavor can just be like through each part of that chicken. Like each bite you want to taste like that you in Jamaica. Each part of Jamaica. Like the first bite you want to be in Kingston. Second bite you want to be in Ocho Rios. Third bite you want to be in Mandeville. Like just on and on like that. Like I'm not even kidding. So here I just had like frozen corn. So I added that to the pot. I love corn, so I'm probably gonna I'm making a lot of corn. That's probably my favorite vegetable. But yeah. So and then you can see the beans are boiling up. The beans really are already done, so you're really just reheating it. So you're reheating it with the tomato sauce, the onions, the seasoning, just spicing it up. So that really can get turned off, but I think I like kept it on low for a while. Um, yeah, just make sure that you're constantly stirring it if you do have it on, but don't have it on for too long because the sauce will dry out. So just be mindful of that. Um, yeah, and then the corn is going. Oh, I love corn so much. And then just periodically stir the chicken just to make sure that nothing is sticking at the bottom. So this here is the most important part. You want to add ketchup. Not too much, but just enough. You want to add ketchup and barbecue sauce. I happen to only have honey barbecue sauce, but I mean that's fine. You want to add a good amount too. I'm sorry I don't have any measurements for you guys, but just really just eye it. And you just add those two and then you go back and you just cover the pot. Okay, so I'm just checking on the rice. I just did a little temper tantrum because it was too mushy. So I did just try to dump out some water just to get the consistency right. And this guy comes in here opening up all my pots, messing up my forte. Like, ew, what are you doing? He looked like the actor that played for Life. But yeah, never mind him. Oh, look at Kingy. Everyone wants to make an appearance in this video. But now I'm just mixing up the corn. Yeah. It's not hard to cook corn. You probably don't want to add as much butter as me because I think maybe I went overboard, but I like my corn super, super buttery. So that's why I added regular butter and then garlic herb roasted butter. Yeah. She pops in here dancing when she finds out what I'm making for dinner. This is one of her favorite dishes. So she's excited. Yeah, now, of course, the rice still isn't good enough. Dang, look at me making a mess. Yeah, I don't like it. Was too mushy for me. So I did learn a trick. I actually saw it on Twitter. So what you do is you just go and you turn off the rice. Well, actually on Twitter, they didn't even specify, but I don't know if you turn it off. What I do, I turn off the stove first, and then you just place a few pieces of bread in it, and the bread actually absorbs the water in the rice, so it won't be mushy. And it really saves ever since I've seen that, like literally every pot of rice that I've messed up on, the bread has saved it. So that is really, 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 really a great lifesaver. If you have trouble cooking rice the way I do. You do want to keep checking on the bread once it is in the pot. Just keep checking periodically because once it does get soggy, you don't want it to be too soggy to the point where there's breadcrumbs in your rice. And you don't want that because you just slaved over a hot meal. So let's avoid that. So yeah, just keep checking it, and if you check it and the bread is soggy to the point that it's about to crumble, but the rice isn't the way that you want it, then just make sure that you can always add more pieces of bread and just keep repeating that cycle until it's the way that you want. So now I'm just having her taste the chicken just to make sure that it is seasoned okay. It's not too salty, making sure that it's tender enough, making sure everything's good. And it looks like she did give me the A-OK, so that's good because my chicken is bomb. But so it looks like the chicken is done. Look at her trying to go back and get more chicken. Got caught. Bye. Bye. King in the background trying to get some too. Goodbye. But anyway, it does look like everything is pretty much done. The butter and the corn probably should melt a little bit more. I probably should just mix that up. But other than that, the chicken, she let me know that the chicken's good. The beans are good. They look pretty good. The rice is as done as it's gonna get because I'm getting hungry. And yeah, I'm just here mixing up the corn, making sure that all the butter has melted. And I did add a little bit of season, like literally a little bit, just because the butter is salty in itself, and I don't want no salty corn. So I'm checking just to make sure that the bread isn't too soggy, and by the looks of it, it's not. So I can keep it in for a little bit longer. Yeah, but I literally just turned off all the pots, and now we're getting ready to eat. So, okay, so this is how everything came out. It looks super good and it tasted even better. So, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video.